The 12 warmest years in recorded history have all come in the last 15 years. Last year, temperatures in some areas of the ocean reached record highs, and ice in the Arctic shrank to its smallest size on record, faster than most models had predicted it would. These are facts. In fact, those who are already feeling the effects of climate change don't have time to deny it. They're busy dealing with it.
Climate change is no longer some far-off problem. It is happening here, and it is happening now. Forest fires are destroying cities along the West Coast. Glaciers hundreds of miles wide are breaking off of Antarctica. Climate change is accelerating the 6th world mass extinction. Sea levels are rising at a rapid rate, and storms are becoming dangerously extreme. Wildfires in the U.S. burn more than twice the area and average 78 days longer than they did in 1970. Research has shown that changes in the climate, especially earlier snowmelt, have led to hotter and drier conditions, which boost the increase in fire activity. For the western U.S., models show that even an average annual increase of 1 degree Celsius would cause the median area burned per year to increase as much as 600% in certain areas. It has been shown that California's wildfires are 500% larger than they used to be because of climate change. The past decade has seen half of the state's 10 largest wildfires and 7 of its 10 most destructive fires, including last year's Camp Fire, the state's deadliest wildfire ever. Since the early 20th century, glaciers around the world have been retreating at unprecedented rates. Some scientists are attributing this retreat to the Industrial Revolution, which began in 1760. In fact, during this century, multiple ice caps, glaciers, and ice shelves have completely disappeared. Many more glaciers are following the same path, and by the end of the century, they too will vanish. An iceberg more than 600 feet thick, covering 630 square miles, and weighing more than 350 billion tons, broke away from the floating ice shelf in Antarctica in September of 2019. At the rate we're going, climate change is accelerating Earth's 6th mass extinction, with similarities to the catastrophic demise of dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Species loss on Earth is rapidly increasing, and by the end of this century, up to 1/6 of all species could disappear. While these effects are being felt across the globe, the threat is much greater in certain sensitive areas. Earth is witnessing a new wave of species die-offs due to habitat loss, invasive species, and rapid climate change. In order to mitigate these disappearances, scientists are racing to make predictions of which species are most likely to go extinct first, as well as when and where this will happen. Sea levels have been rising for centuries, but the rate has dramatically increased in recent decades. In 2018, global sea levels were 3.2 inches greater than the 1993 average, making it the highest annual average on record. The pace of global sea level rise has almost doubled throughout the 20th century, and in the last 23 of 25 years, the Earth has seen a mean sea level increase from the year prior. 40% of the U.S. population that lives along the coast is vulnerable to these rapid rising levels. Catastrophic weather events have increased in recent years, and new evidence indicates that some of this increase is due to human activities. Global warming has triggered major changes in the Earth, including extreme weather. Human-induced climate change has increased the frequency and intensity of such weather. Over the last 50 years, the Earth has seen increases in periods of high temperatures, heavy downpours, severe droughts, and floods. The upward trend of intensity of heat waves has almost tripled the long-term average. Recent heat waves and droughts in Texas and the Midwest set records for highest monthly average temperature. Prolonged extreme heat has hit unprecedented levels since records began in 1895. Droughts have become more intense and prolonged, with places like Texas and Oklahoma experiencing more than 100 days over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and set records for hottest summers since 1895. Water loss due to evaporation has doubled the long-term average and contributed to more than $10 billion in losses to agriculture. Heavy downpours are increasing nationally in both frequency and intensity. Since 1991, average rainfall has been well above average, with the greatest increase being the Northeast, Midwest, and the Great Plains.
So the question now is whether we will have the courage to act before it's too late. And how we answer will have a profound impact on the world that we leave behind, not just to you, but to your children and to your grandchildren. As a president, as a father, and as an American, I'm here to say we need to act.